All right, take two. So we just experienced trying to record this video the first time, a technical difficulty we've never had before. The Streamlabs software crashed on us.
Thankfully, we're only like a few minutes in.
Yeah. We'll try this again. Yeah, this is our top three videos, top three moments of WGI Percussion 2024. We realized Evan and I were brainstorming content to get us to, we're almost to WGI 2025, but we realized we've never done any, like, these are our favorite moments from drum corps or indoor from these seasons. So
yeah, we kind of talk about them on like our finals recap or talk about the shows in the groups, but never like isolated moments like this. So
nope. So him and I took a walk down memory lane earlier today and yesterday and kind of watched a bunch of shows over again, put together a few honorable mentions, and then our top three. So yeah, before we jump in, this is Aged Out Reacts. I'm Michael Fantini, and with me as always is
Evan Worrell.
And we'll keep this short and sweet. As I said, it is take two. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video with anyone you think would appreciate it. Facebook, Instagram, follow us there. Buy a shirt or a sticker on agedoutpodcast.com or hit the join button here on YouTube or go to patreon.com if you want to support us financially across any of those avenues. Aged Out Fundamentals, your hands will thank you later. Just pick one. It takes 15 minutes a day. Builds chops, consistency, pick a different skill every day. You know, An analogy I used to use with this kind of stuff with students when I was teaching more, like NBA players, if you're a sports fan, or any basketball player, they shoot 100 free throws a day. Like, consider this video like you shooting your 100 free throws at the end of practice every day. So there's that. All right, let's jump back in. Starting with honorable mention number one is yours.
Yeah, this is my first honorable mention was from United's show, United Percussion. I remember this when we were in person. It started off with just these keyboards just running, ripping these fast runs up and down, kind of diminuendos into a full battery moment, and then it ends with this like edge roll and Spock roll where the snares and quads are in like an integrated form, and it's just like pristine. And I was just like, "Whoo!"
After you reminded me of this, I remember we all like looked at each other when they hit this roll on the floor. It was great. So let's check it out.
Yeah.
And the way it just goes to nothing at the end is awesome.
All right, we're going to get in this integrated arc. Here we go. Yeah. It's
so
in there.
Good.
It's in there. Yeah, just a great moment. It's hard for him to play in. Integrated snare quads in that arc. Just nailed it.
Not only is it hard, but when a line hits it, it sounds different a little bit from a balance standpoint than when you have snare line next to quad line playing a roll together. When it's integrated like that, it has a different warmth to it.
Yeah,
like the quad sound fully blends and integrates into the snare sound. It's nice.
Great moment.
Right. Now, my first honorable mention is a Monarch moment. It is the snare add-in moment. They had a very extended snare moment with the front ensemble, and the reason I like this is because it's elegant. And that's not a word you get to use to describe battery percussion moments very often, but somehow Ben Piles found in the arranging a way to really still fit notes and make it feel notey at times. There's peaks and valleys, pacing's really well, it builds really well. The front accentuates what the snare line's doing and vice versa throughout the phrase, back and forth the whole time. It's just a really well put together phrase that keeps you engaged the whole time. And it still has a nice flourish at the end of that patented snare line note density you expect at a top level WGI group.
Yeah, really delicate moments.
And the pause before the backbeat comes in.
Boom.
You'll notice not only is the density of notes is paced well throughout the phrase as well, slowly building with the volume.
Great shaping.
And I love the rug pull at the end with the shot. It's just good. Just good indoor arranging.
Yep. Great achievement too. And to say also, with all these moments we picked, these are just kind of things that we really thought were memorable or stood out. Maybe not things that were like, oh, this is the best thing that there was, like I think you said competitively, but just, things that were really favorites of ours.
These are going to have our own personal biases built into it for what we like. And that's the point of it. Again, we're not critiquing where the judge placed these group. It's just like what we like.
We each picked 5, our top 3, and then 2 honorable mentions. And this one from Music City Mystique, we actually both picked. This is the only thing that we picked that was the same. We didn't share ideas before we started recording, obviously. But this silent moment was just really cool in the arena to witness live. Thankfully, no one was an idiot and shouted something stupid or tried to be funny in this cool moment. It was really cool to suck the volume out and experience this silence moment and then build back into the ensemble.
Yep. The front comes in, and the front was just phenomenal this year. Crazy runs going on in the front, hand speed changes, all the good stuff. And no matter how many times I watch this pause is longer than I expect it to be every single, which is obviously the intent. But
yeah. I wonder if they messed with making it longer.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that.
And if that process
wouldn't
is
doubt it at
in
all.
fact silent, the music is evident constantly, whether there are sounds or silences.
And in true Mystique fashion, they sold it really well too. Like all the screaming, they always sell their show theme and the performative aspect really well. Again, rug pull, super effective.
Yep, build the tension, then release.
An artist's duty is to reflect the times.
Yeah.
With the A-B part at the end too.
Yeah, like the 9-lit split. Big a bit. Yep. Great. Yeah.
It's great. Great pacing. Awesome moment.
And then I guess that'll take us to my number 3, which is towards the latter half of the Rhythm X show. It just starts off with a cool front ensemble moment where they almost have like that surround sound spatial audio effect with the woods. Where they're like kind of going where the parts split down the boards. It's just really well done. And then it feeds into that snare moment right after it where it just starts real delicate and kind of similar to that Monarch moment we just watched, just kind of builds in intensity to the end.
Yep. And I know you said you and I only had one overlap was a Mystique moment. This was almost one of my honorable mentions. So we almost had a second one.
I love that. So delicate too.
That snare line is so good.
Yeah. They're doing like all that halfway flam work and stuff at the beginning half, and then just ramming there at the end. So great moment from the Rhythm X team.
So for me, my number 3 moment was the opening bass moment from Broken City's show. I just love like the right before they come in, the breath sound effects, and then the battery eventually layers on at the end of it in this opening phrase. But then the bass line will still have a moment of like hand-to-hands and then like a pause and silence. And then another phrase. And it's just super effective, just like what you would expect from Broken City's design team.
But the more we try to ignore what's real, the danger grows like the fear we feel. If you look inside, do you feel peculiar? If you look around, does it sound familiar?
Also, the way the timpani is timing their hits with the end of those runs in the bass line.
Oh,
So effective.
all those unison, like with the snares, quads, and then the cymbals too. Like those just crushes
So
buzzes.
good.
Like,
And then I
really
pointed
cool.
it out in the middle of the phrase. I probably should have waited, but whatever. The timpani, I think it was timpani, and maybe in the auxiliary performers concert bass something. The bass line had crazy long runs, and it would end a phrase with the bottom bass drum or a unison. And the timpani was staying aware of time and all that, and timing notes or the concert bass or both possibly. So very well done from a listening standpoint in the front to line that up.
yeah,
Shows an immense understanding of the music.
which will take us to my number 2, which is from Atlantic Quest. As just kind of a drum junkie or a snare head, this was just so satisfying. First of all, it's super ballsy to start a show, just cold hands. Well, not probably cold, but you're just walking
in the tunnel for a while.
You got to just play it well right off the rip. There's no easing into anything. Just this whole extended snare opening into the, there's a bass moment that's sick, the quads, and there's a full battery moment. Just
It's like
notes
the whole
on
first
notes
minute
on
of the
notes.
show.
Yeah, it's like the whole first minute. It's just like, all right, well, they're just gonna rip some
as
notes.
a drummer, just eat your heart out and enjoy.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Presenting their program Drive. WGI Sport of the Arts is proud to present
Great drum tuning, by the way.
Atlanta Quest.
Just keeps going.
Yep, doesn't stop.
Here we go, bass. Yeah,
Just pure
I mean, it's
energy.
just pure energy and adrenaline. I mean, the show's drive kind of fits. But I was just like, all right, they're just gonna play some notes. Here we go.
All right, here we go. It's drums in a gym, but done really, really well.
Yeah, so I love that moment.
Yep, great. My number 2 is also from the Rhythm Extra show. It's the opening snare break. Is probably one of my favorite snare breaks of like the last 10 years of the activity. It's executed flawlessly, flams everywhere, fast rolls, and it also doesn't just come out and just loud. It builds from a one-hand isolated thing on the right and a couple buzz presses on the left. In theme with the show is the bird's wings and everything are breaking and all that stuff. And then it builds up into this moment that is just mind-blowing as a snare drummer. And again, personal biases are going to be in this, so enjoy. A lot of peaks and valleys dynamically as well, as it builds into the density. The front accenting those lefts.
Pretty good.
It's just so good. It's just
Pretty
so good.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're really good.
Yep, phenomenal.
For my number 1, I kind of did a little bit of a curveball, but probably my favorite show of the entire weekend was Ayala in Scholastic World. And this opening thing just builds so much tension. I mean, we're about a minute and a half into the show, but the way they use the soundscape with the bass feature and then into the snare feature, just it feels like they're just taking a dial on the audio and electronics, and just as these moments are building, they're just turning up the tension. And then the coordination of everything, the front to back demand, the environmental demand of how spread out everything is. I just, this opening sequence up through the big full battery moment was just like, I was like, I can't believe I'm watching high school kids do
I was
this.
getting ready to say, not only is the design impressive, but it's even more impressive that it's a high school aged group performing it so well. So
I'm just going to not talk though.
Yep.
Oof.
Let me know when to stop.
Yeah.
Okay. It was just heck.
Okay,
of a
hold on,
show.
keep going just a second, just a
sorry.
second. Yeah,
I'll
no,
back
you're
up
good.
a little bit and hit play.
Right there. Yeah, just the communication between the front and the back, the front ensemble. I mean, I remember like they came out, and I don't remember if they went on last or not because I can't remember the order of Chino Hills and them flip flopping around the day.
Remember.
But I just remember watching that show and just being like, "This is probably the best thing I'm gonna see all weekend."
All right, so my number one is a quad break, a quad moment from RCC's show, and partially just because one, it's phenomenal, and they played phenomenal on finals night and most of the season. I'm always in awe of RCC's quad line, like the way they move around the drums, similar to how you and I are fans of the Blue Devils quad line. Obviously, a lot of overlap in terms of educationally and membership and all that stuff, but it's just impressive. Full of notes, so smooth. The way they, in the middle of the long roll at the end of it, they had to change body orientation and lower themselves to the ground in a ripple with something being moved over them, and then there's a break drum at the end of it in the front that accentuates the last accents. Like, it's just a really well-designed, in-your-face quad feature you would expect from RCC.
Yeah, I remember this one. It gave me flashes of like the 09. I'm not comparing it to 09. 09 is probably still like the GOAT quad break in WGI history for me, but
It's up there.
The way it interplays with the marimbas, like the 09 break did, just but this one's a little bit different. And
I forgot to call that out. The front,
yeah,
it's just the unison between the front and the quads through a lot of like the 16th note crossover passages and everything. It's just crazy. So let's just enjoy, and then we'll wrap this video up. It's also fast.
Yeah, the cold attack after the front flip. Yeah.
It's just good. Just good drumming. Warms the soul. All right.
So yeah, feel free to in the comments, whatever some of your memorable moments were for WGI 2024, any class really too.
Yeah.
Even if it's like open class, A class, some other Scholastic World stuff. We did kind of a small sample, but this is what we remember and what stood out to us.
Yep.
So feel free to share, and I think in the future we'll maybe try to do some of these like before DCI 2025. Look back on some stuff from DCI 2024 that stood out. So
we'll make it an annual usual thing as part of our content suite we put out every year. So comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what your favorite moments of WGI 2024 was across any class. Or even if there's guard moments you like from guard side of the activity, let us know that too.
That too.
Cool. Patreon.com, join button here on YouTube, agedOutPodcast.com, buy a shirt or sticker, Aged Out Fundamentals, drum every day. I know when people are doing it because I can see the view counts going up in real time.
Yeah.
So I can hold you accountable. And it's been going up a lot slower throughout the holidays. Y'all been lazy. Shoot your free throws every day, people.
Same.
Yeah, me too. I can't really fault you for that one. Hope everybody had a good Christmas or holiday and New Year's. Fun, safe New Year's Eve, and we'll see everybody in the next episode.
Peace.